chicka, chicka, boom, boom. We're back. It's Monday. All kinds of stuff happened since we last left here on Thursday. Your eyes are not deceiving you. That is not Jeff Play Action Reel. That is not Luch on Ice. It's a special edition of Lastella Report tonight.
Yes,
with Robbie Lastella. Back from the Big Apple.
We are back. It's been quite a few, I guess I'd say now, 72 hours. A lot's gone on. It's been fun though.
It has. Don't jump into it yet because we got to get out of the way real fast. A couple of things.
Oh yeah.
If you want to call the show, if you got questions, because everybody's got questions tonight. The number is 352-234-8669. That's 352-234-8669. I'll answer one of the questions right away. Yeah, I got way too much sun today. I sat outside to make a phone call. Hour and a half went by. I'm like a lobster, a tomato. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. A little burnt, but extra crispy. We got to get my NBA locks out of the way because I do have some NBA locks tonight. And we took a lot of time off from the NBA last week, although I did give out. Steven, what did I give out? I gave out the Knicks last week as the lock of the season, right? And what did they do? They covered. They blew the doors off of the Golden State Warriors. Tonight, I like Dallas -7 in Utah. Utah sucks. They're horrible. They probably won't win again until next January. So take Dallas over Utah, and then take the Clippers -6 over the Pacers. They both played last night. Neither one of them had to travel because the Pacers played the Lakers last night, but the Clippers lost last night, and the Clippers are not going to lose 2 games in a row. So I take the Clippers over the Pacers tonight, -6 points. Take Dallas -7 over Utah tonight. And those are your NBA locks of the night. You can go, and we'll tell you all these places throughout the show, but you can go to right now, FanDuel. FanDuel's got a really good promo, don't they, Robbie? Didn't you just use FanDuel recently?
I did, yeah. That's the one that's good. I like it. I like it a lot. There's some value there.
Yeah.
Smart with what to bet on.
Open an account with as little as like $10. Bet 5. Win, and you get $150 in free play. So just take a money line. Take an easy lock money. One of my locks I just gave you. Just bet the money line on it, and boom, you win. You get $150 extra to bet with. So, but
UConn plays.
What's that?
I said just wait until UConn plays. That's an easy one.
Exactly. I made a killing with UConn yesterday. It was like a no-brainer. I just loaded the hell up on UConn. You got to be 21 years or older, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER either before or after you download the app or whatever. But you got so you're not going to have a gambling problem right out of the gate because you make a deposit, new account holders, you bet $5 and you get an extra $150. How is that a problem?
There you go.
You blow through the $150 in a couple hours, then you might want to call the number. But right now, it seems good. And in NBA news, and this is all we're going to hit on the NBA tonight real quick, Jonte Porter of the Detroit Pistons under investigation by the NBA for possible betting. So, if the Pistons don't have enough problems.
Did you read that at all?
I saw, and I didn't read it, but I saw it came across on my television.
I read it. This guy, I mean, he bet on himself, and he bet the under on his points, rebounds, assists total.
No.
And then he was taken out of the game with an injury, and then his bet popped up on the next, I forgot what app it was, but whatever app it was, the next day it sent out like the list of biggest hits, like amount of money, and for parlay or for player prop for basketball, it was his, and like it made no sense. Like who would be betting on Jonte Porter's under and have it be that much amount of money? So
Shohei Ohtani, but besides Shohei, who knows?
Yeah, so we'll see how that breaks for him. He may be joining Shohei's agent.
Interpreter,
yes, my bad.
And I knew it on the Shohei press conference. We won't really get into this too much, but Shohei's reasoning today was I don't understand English. Reminded me a lot of Sammy Sosa. Steven, pull that clip up of Sammy Sosa. We'll use it later on with Bill. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he went in front of Congress and they asked him if he used steroids and all of a sudden he didn't speak any English. Yeah, you find that somewhere. But, man, so Brooklyn, Barkley, atmosphere, how was that place compared to Fort Worth as far as atmosphere in the building?
Well, I mean, it's like night and day. I mean, Fort Worth was completely empty and Barclays was packed. I mean, UConn, Northwestern, they carried a lot of fans. FAU, props to them, they carried a lot of fans. James Madison, that place was absolutely rocking for them. That place was rocking for Vermont against Duke. It's always the underdogs that get a ton of fans in
Because
these.
they're excited to be there.
Yep. And so it's like the people who stayed for the first game are Vermont fans, or the people who were coming from the second game are James Madison fans, or vice versa. I think it is. So it's like it's awesome to see all the fans rally around the underdogs. But it was crazy in there though. It was close to it was like Madison Square Garden last year. New York's a great basketball place. I love it there. It's a great basketball place.
And with JMU, big props to Coach Gene. Coach Gene told me JMU is not going to lose the first game, and there's a lot of value in JMU, so I loaded up on them. And big props to Pete, too, who just left a comment there, because Pete turned me on to Yale. I probably would have dismissed Yale. I rode the Yale train a little bit too long. Yale cost me about $6K last night in a huge parlay. I mean, a huge parlay and a huge teaser. I just needed Yale to keep the game close, and they couldn't do it. But big props. Yeah. We got some good tips. And speaking of Coach Gene, did you catch Coach Gene on the show last week, Robbie?
Part of it, not all of it though.
Last week we had a plan, and we never got to the plan. So, but I spoke to Coach Gene yesterday. I love that dude. He's a good guy.
He is.
He's a good guy. So,
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it was an early exit. So the atmosphere was good. You guys were excited to walk in the building. How was the whole the press box? What was your situation? You weren't in overflow, were you?
No. Any of these road venues, I was right on the court. I mean, my buddies from Al Radio, they were in the rafters, so they hooked us up. We were on the court. It was good. It was a good experience, and me and Christian stayed for about 10 hours of basketball there. We went out to get pizza at one point, but then we came back for the nightcaps, and it was a good game.
How was the pizza?
Oh, good. I know a good spot there. I go to Union Square for all my food. I forgot the street number, but it's called Union Square, and they got I got pasta there as well. A ton of good food, Italian food.
Forget about it, right?
Yeah. It's called Pasta Eater. It's a really good small business. They cook the pasta in like a cheese wheel, and then they dump it out. I asked Christian if he liked his, and he said not really. And then he was like, as I was eating the sauce, so he was like licking the sauce off the bowl.
Yeah, not really.
Only good spots.
But it was an early exit. I mean, the game was hard to watch from home at TV. I mean, the first half, there was no score for like 3 minutes. The score was 0-0.
No, yeah, that was some of the ugliest basketball I think I've seen from FAU in a long time. No one's asked Dusty what happened in that last game yet. The press conference stuff, he gave his general coach speak answers. Wish he coached better. But 20 turnovers, 8 for John L. Davis. The whole team just seemed discombobulated, and it just wasn't. Even if they won, I mean, they would have gotten beat by a lot by UConn. I mean, if Coach came out today on Ken Levicka's show and said that that he felt that the team was disconnected a bit, and if
Coach who? The Michigan coach?
Yeah, that
guy. Okay.
Yeah, the Michigan coach. So Dusty May there. So he went on there today though, and he said that, and he felt that the team was disconnected. So if they were disconnected, they would not have even competed against UConn. UConn's a machine right now, well-oiled machine.
Yeah, that spread was only I don't remember what it was, but it was only maybe 14 or 15 last night. Pete would know. Pete's got he's like a photographic encyclopedia when it comes to this. Celtics are up 27 right now.
There you go.
Pete, live from the Garden, checking in.
That's
not
where
Madison Square.
This week.
What's that?
FAU could have been at TD Garden. That's where the next round of 16 is this week. So, yeah, Boston. That's where it's at.
Yeah, UConn was a lock last night, but they were even more of a lock because no one deserved to win that FAU Northwestern game. I mean, it was brutally brutal.
But
you know what made it worse? Game went overtime, right?
Yep.
The over-under at the start of the game was 142.5. So I immediately threw in the towel about 10 minutes into the game when the score was like a baseball score, 6-2. And then it goes to overtime, and they scored 142 friggin' points. So we missed by a half a point.
They always know. I mean, Vegas knows. But UConn's just fun to watch right now. They were fun to watch there, and it's crazy. I mean, they lose 3 NBA players from last year. They lose 2 other role guys, and here they are. They could win this year. Then they'll be back next year. They're not losing anybody, so they have a chance to win. And anything can happen. But I really think they're really strong, and no one can beat them this year. And then who knows what happens next year? But UConn's a well-oiled machine right now.
All right, well, let's talk about your Owls there in that game for just a minute. And heartbreaking, disappointing. You couldn't have been surprised, though, because not for nothing, but I told you they were not going to make it through the weekend, and I had extreme doubts that they were going to make it through that first game. So out of my loyalty to you and the school, I didn't bet against them. That's the only reason I played the over. Because I wanted to bet against them, but I said I can't do that.
Yeah. It was they fought back like they usually do. It's just tough how it ended. The ending to that game, I don't think we'll ever know. John L. Davis didn't come to the press conference, so we'll never really know what was going through his head. He said he thought the paint was clustered. There was one person in the paint when he pulled up and did that drive. So we'll never know from John L. what happened on that last play. I think that's what's the most frustrating about it is he didn't really give it his best. I mean, I don't want to say he didn't give his all on that play. Just he didn't do anything on that play. So that's a tough. And then Vlad missing the free throw is tough. And then overtime and going to sleep is tough. But I think what Elijah Martin had 4 in the last game against Temple, and then he had 6 in the tournament game. So he really just fell off the earth, and I just don't know why.
So being disconnected, how is that not Dusty May's fault that his team is disconnected?
It's tough. I mean, a lot of guys in today's world, NIL, there's a lot of different factors that influence individual players. And I mean, he can only say so much. So maybe guys got tired of listening to him. He's been the same voice there for 6 years now. And he brought back the whole roster. You don't see that a lot in college basketball for a lot of reasons, but a lot of it's personalities. So, in the beginning of the season, guys pushed things aside. Individual wants statistically and whatnot. And maybe by the middle to end of the season, those things, that got pushed off as, oh yeah, we're running it back, team, whatever. Maybe they started realizing, I don't know. There's some things are important to me that doesn't go to the team aspect, and maybe it started affecting them. We'll never really know. I know that's why we got to sit down with Coach May and talk to him about it. One day, who knows? But
is it possible? Has this crossed your mind?
Yeah.
So he said the team was disconnected, and the fish stinks from the head. Mm-hmm. Always does. I think it's the coach's job to get that team ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
But what if he was disconnected? What if Dusty wasn't connected? What if he was busy thinking about where am I going to be in 24 hours from now? Because you got to be. I don't, it's for all this portal talk, and that I'm somewhat new to college sports, but for all this portal talk and how bad the portal is, why is it okay for the head coach to dip out hours after his team got their ass kicked?
And I think transferring and stuff like that on both sides, players and coaches, just needs to be allowed. And then it sucks. It's a mid-major thing though. You look at James Madison; they just won. Their coach is gone. You look at Drake; they just made the tournament. Their coach is now gone.
How about the guy from Long Beach? He got fired and then he went to the tournament.
Yeah, so it's like like exactly that. He could get Dusty May could have a bad year next year if he stays, and then within 3 years he could be fired at FAU. Would that happen? Absolutely not. But it's like the coaching world is just so crazy. It's not really no.
How do you think Herman feels today? No, seriously.
Well, I know how Lane Kiffin feels. Lane Kiffin. Somebody asked on Twitter, Dusty May leaving is blank blank, and then Lane Kiffin, FAU's old coach, was like sad. So Tom Herman though, looking at it, he has to be like trying to build FAU his own football program up. Because if he does that, he could put himself back in any job. So it's just that's the life, like I was saying, of the life of a mid-major. It's tough. It's a tough life.
So how'd you learn about where Dusty went? You can kind of give me your few hours on Saturday night.
Yeah, so with I all day I was sitting there tracking flights to Louisville.
I saw that. You were like those stalkers for Elon Musk and Taylor Swift.
I was, but I heard from my mid-major madness guy Isaac that was on the show that he heard from Louisville boosters that he was going there, and I don't know what happened to that. No one knows. Coach May hasn't mentioned Coach May hasn't mentioned Louisville ever. But those rumors, they started flying early that day. We get on our plane to come home, and by the time we land, Coach May is announced by Woj, an NBA insider of all people, that he's going to Michigan. And what I've heard is that there was like a 4-hour meeting he had with Michigan in Fort Lauderdale that day after he got back, and he couldn't turn him down. It was something to do with alumni resources or whatnot. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's college basketball. Alumni resources, Michigan, whatnot. It's most likely he was going to take a big job this year, whether it was Louisville and Michigan swept in, or if Michigan was just there the whole time and they kept it quiet, used Louisville as a smokescreen.
So I challenge anyone to do their homework and go back and look at the timestamps on tweets or social media posts and find what Wojnarowski, right? That's who broke it?
Yep.
Yeah, and look at the timestamp between him putting it out and us putting it out. And that's all I'm going to say. And if you think it was enough time to react and say, "Ooh, let me go retweet this real fast." That's all I'm going to say at this point. More to come. That's all. So who have you spoken to since the news broke, as far as FAU on the inside? Have you spoken to Dusty? Have you anything? What do you got?
Yeah, so I did. I texted with Dusty. He agreed. He'll sit down with me and we'll talk.
Yay!
See, because that's how we roll.
Yeah. So he'll talk to after things settle down. He said we'll have a little interview with him. But I talked to the donors. I've talked to friends of the coaches, that the assistant coaches. I've talked to a whole bunch of people. Fans. I'm waiting to hear back from the color analyst with FAU Radio. He played for FAU way back when. But what I'm hearing is that from a lot of different people is that FAU right now they're going to be looking at Coach Church and Coach Abernathy inside, and then outside they're not going to let us know who. We can speculate. There's a few guys, but the school said they're going to do a national search, and it could take 2 weeks, could take longer. So we'll see.
Who are you speculating? Because I know that you wrote. You're on top of everything FAU, but you wrote a killer piece last night.
Yep.
That came out, and you kind of broke down a few different possibilities.
Yeah, so I'm advocating personally for FAU to go with an in-house candidate, because that's the easiest way for them build continuity. But I also include I'll name them real quick, and then I'll name them all. Go Kyle Church, Todd Abernathy for the inside candidates, Jim Crutchfield, and Eric Pastrana for the outside candidates. And I think Kyle Church right now, he was named the interim coach today. Dusty let us know that on the Ken Levicka show on ESPN Radio on his interview there. But Kyle Church is a guy that's been with Dusty for 11 years now. First as an associate head coach at Louisiana Tech and then at Florida. So he's got that program building, administrative stuff background, and then he comes to FAU, and then he's the associate head coach here. So he's got that right-hand man next to Dusty experience, and he's got that program building experience. And then the biggest sell for Kyle Church is that while he was here, he did scheduling, and then for FAU to continue their scheduling non-conference wise going forward, how they did, if he can do that, it would be huge, because getting the non-conference schedule with tournaments and a variety of different things is just it gives them the national presence. Like they play in the Jimmy V, they could play in this NIL tournament for $3 million. And Kyle Church is the one who's been scheduling those tournaments now for the past 2 years, really, because FAU's been playing in them now. But Todd Abernathy, he's the second hand, right under Church and Dusty. There's Abernathy. He's a young guy. He's that young gun type of coach, like a Sean McVay when the Rams hired him. He could be. He has D3 head coaching experience, but he hasn't had that really in D1 or anything. He's a D1. He played at Ole Miss, all SEC, but he's a long shot just because he doesn't really have that associate head coach role or any really D1 experience besides graduate assistant at Ole Miss in 1 year now with Dusty. But the outside candidates, Eric Pastrana, he was on Dusty's staff when
the
he
dude
first
from
came.
Chips.
No,
not Eric Estrada.
I'm writing that article, and it's calling him Eric Pastrami like so many different times. I'm sorry. You might read that article and you might see it in there.
That's because you went to too many Jewish delis when you were in Brooklyn this weekend.
I didn't make it to Katz. I did not. That's in Manhattan, but I didn't make it mad. But Pastrani, I was going to say Pastrami. He's a guy, he was on Dusty's staff when he first came here, and then he kind of did the Dusty reverse. He went to threw me off a little bit. He went to Mike White's staff at Georgia after Dusty went here. He's been there ever since. He recruited a guy named Asa Newell to Georgia, and he's been known since coming there to being a recruiter. And so in today's world, recruiting it's twofold. It's important, but also can he use that recruiting ability in the NIL world? So that's important, and also a question about him is he doesn't really have that on the court coaching. Like he didn't do associate head coach. He's not. He was at Oklahoma State when Cade Cunningham was there, and they didn't win. So that's just one thing. There's just questions about his on the court coaching ability. And then Jim Crutchfield is my last option that I listed. There's no question about his on the court coaching ability. He's got like 300 and something wins and 60 losses. He's a D2 legend at Nova Southeastern. He went 36-0 there. And then there was another D2. It was called West Liberty before, where he was there for like 19 years. He was there for like 11 years. He's been at Nova Southeastern for like 8, but 19 years coaching total. He's a guy that FAU, it's a long shot for him to pursue them, but I just don't see a reason why he can't at least get a call, considering he's got all those wins. He went 36-0 last year. He's been around the program before, and a guy that FAU wanted to pursue, and Josh Schertz kind of did the same thing before he went to Indiana State. And FAU's not really going to be able to make a play at Schertz because he's getting pursued by St. Louis University right now with a huge budget, and possibly Louisville, even though he's an FAU alumni. So
has the AD or anybody inside contacted you for your thoughts on this? Because you know the team and you know the program as well as anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, but I mean, that's not, I'm not here to give the coaches the school advice, but everyone's reading my articles, so hopefully somebody important gets an idea that the in-house is really the best option because of continuity, or they really want a guy who's a proven winner, call up Jim Crutchfield from down the street at Nova Southeastern. He runs a high-paced offense that's easily translatable to D1. People are scared to make that move, but whoever does it's going to get a winner.
And what about the players? I mean, how do the guys on the team feel? Or how would you think they feel? Have you heard anything? Have you spoken to anyone? How is Jonelle? How's Vlad? I mean,
they've all been posting on social media, acting like everything's normal. They've been posting recollection pictures. I think Nick Boyd put something out. It was like "Forever Legendary" was his caption. So they're all looking back on this now. And Coach May said he met with them all on Sunday, and he says, there's a lot of things I picked up in that interview with Coach May, but one of them, they asked him if he'd ever schedule FAU. And he said, no, I could never schedule them, at least not right now while the current nucleus is still there, or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact wordage, but he basically...
wouldn't it be great if he did, though, and then FAU kicked his ass?
Wouldn't
that just be...
It would, but he's saying, though, he wouldn't schedule them right now while the current nucleus is there. So maybe in his mind that some of these players after his exit meeting are staying. I'm sure there's some players that will want to go to Michigan with him. It's possible. But who knows? Coach May is going to have a completely different pool of players that he has access to at Michigan than he had here at FAU. So, those players are more than capable of playing at Michigan, but who knows? It's too early to tell, but no one's put out anything bitter. And these players are homegrown. They have friends here. They made money here. We saw all the NIL deals the week before the tournament games. So, we'll see what happens, but no one's put out anything sour. And reading in between the lines a little bit with what Coach May said, I just think that there's a chance that we see some of these players returning. Maybe not all of them, maybe not any of them, but the vibe is good right now, at least.
Did somebody push these NIL deals right before the tournament started because you were the only one that thought Coach May wasn't dipping out? So is it possible? Is that possible? Let's money these guys up.
Nah.
So that when Dusty dips, they still feel good about being here.
That's one way that's possible. But at the same time, a lot of these NIL deals could have been rolled out before then. And I think personally that they just rolled those out before the tournament so that when they go to the national landscape, people see that FAU is open for business, and that these players are making money. So if you want to come give them an NIL deal, come talk to me. But,
Now, what about the students? What about the fans? What about the kids that are out there? All I'm hearing is fond and pleasant memories, but where I'm from, you dip out on us like this, we're coming after you. Good riddance. Don't let the door hit you in the ass type of thing. None of that going on?
I'm sure there's some people that feel that way, but the majority of people are just happy for him. FAU's it's not like a super, it's building a basketball culture, but it's not that. It doesn't have the fans that are going to be showing up at Coach Dusty's house at 3 a.m. with a pitchfork and whatnot. It's just, that's not that type of fan base. I'm sure there are fans who are mad, and they can be that way for sure. But at the end of the day, it's college basketball. It's a business. I think, it's look at all the other mid majors, like I said before, that are getting their coaches poached. So it's not anything to get mad about. Coach May he did the interview today. He agreed to do an interview with us. So there's no bad blood here. I think there's a respect level between the school and him that Michigan was just, it's an opportunity he can't turn down at the moment. And he left FAU a lot better than he found it. And it's just, at some point it's time to separate. And I think this was the best time to do it in his mind. He admitted he was a little bit selfish. He took the best opportunity for him, but everyone's human. And I go back to what I said a few seconds ago, and he left it better than he found it. And he did a lot better. He turned the Toyota, the Corolla with no rims, into a Rolls Royce. All right, maybe not a Rolls Royce, but like
Mercedes.
Yeah.
A nice Audi Quattro something or other.
A nice vehicle, yeah.
No. All right, we're with Robbie Lastella, Lastella Report. We're talking about FAU NCAA basketball, the tournament. Dusty May, what's next for FAU? And we got more with Robbie Robbie's going to hang with us till the top of the hour. At the top of the hour, we got Bill Perkins, Top Fan Rivalry. We got your buddy Toby Schulman joining us, our FAU baseball reporter. We're doing our MLB 2024 prediction show tonight, so they'll be coming up at the top of the hour. Right now, we got to move over to Stephen Luker because we got to find out what the hell is going on in the world of sports other than Dusty May talk. Now, Robbie, I got an assignment for you. Try to count the Marisols that Stephen has because he's got a lot of Marisols when he comes on.
Big Riverside guy. All right.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the Top Fan Rivalry Sports Desk, and we're going to bring on Stephen Luker and many, many Marisol Nichols with, God, Stephen, with your Top Fan Rivalry update. So, Stephen, what's going on, buddy? Need a microphone, pal.
All right. Let's go NBA. We have the Hornets down to losing to the Cavaliers 65-53 in the third quarter. 6:37 left to go in that game. The Celtics are up 74-54. 21 seconds left in that game. The Hawks have 54. The Celtics have 74.
No, it's 21. What did you say? 21 minutes left of the
21
game?
21 seconds
in
until
the
halftime.
In the halftime. Okay,
Yeah.
in the half. Okay.
The Knicks are up 59-41. 3 seconds left till halftime against the Pistons. Halftime in Toronto, the Brooklyn Nets are up 49-45 against the Raptors. The Wizards are up 31-17. 5 seconds left in the first quarter. The 17 points is up for the Bulls. And the first quarter, the San Antonio Spurs are beating the Phoenix Suns 29-22 in the first quarter. 2 seconds left. It's a 24-22 game. Portland is beating the Rockets in the first quarter. 1:31 left to go. No hockey action yet, but we have some college basketball games going on. We got NIT or something going on. We have Purdue Fort Wayne.
If it's not the tournament, it's NIT or something. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, Purdue Fort Wayne is up 67-58 against Tarleton State. A couple finals in the college basketball is High Point beats Cleveland State 93-74. Arkansas State beats Montana 74-61. Fairfield beats Chicago State 77-74. Seattle U beats Eversville 71-57. And on this day,
Hold on. Good call, Penguin AZ. Penguin AZ picked out the pregnant Marisol Nichols that you put up there. So not only do we have bikini shots and cleavage shots, but we have pregnant shots too.
Yes, I found one that is perfect.
Pregnant women are beautiful. All right, go ahead, Stephen.
All right, and on this day, we are going 1961. Cincinnati ends Ohio State's 32-game winning streak with a 70-65 win in the NCAA Basketball Championship. In the third place game, St. Joseph's beat Utah 127-120 and quadruple overtime. Buckeyes future Hall of Famer for Jerry Lucas was the MOP for the second straight year, and that is your sports update.
And we will be back right after these messages with more Robbie Lastella. You're listening to the Bleacher Brothers Show on TBSN.
You're listening to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
We're making a big change to Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. We're adding a delicious layer of caramel.
Yes! I love caramel! Yes!
But we're only making a few of them. A few million.
Wait, are you still selling the regular cups?
Yep. New Reese's Caramel Big Cup.
Introducing the most powerful Tacoma ever. With the shut the front door handle. Also known as the Seriously Wrong handle. Or the Whoa 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 handle. And even the No Me Gusta handle. Standard on the all-new Toyota Tacoma.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut. Hey, Arnold, I'm hearing neighbor. It's neighbor.
That's what I said. Neighbor.
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 Hey, let's go again.
Like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Cut.
Now what?
It's neighbor.
Neighbor.
Cut.
Neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor. Just like it's written on the paper. This lady is in labor.
Cut.
Look at this. This is labor. Like a good neighbor. That was the sheep. And you know it.
It's like you're cold. Brr.
Yeah, I'm cold. Bah. Neighbor.
Still no.
Like a good neighbor.
Cut.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah.
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
Burr.
Bah.
Burr.
Bah. Get me under this chopper.
It's pronounced chopper.
Don't.
It is.
Neighbor. A little bit more concealer.
Hey, Arnold. Got a bit of a script change.
Script change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to the Bleacher Brothers on the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Do you golf?
I used to. I used to play all the time. In middle school, I was on the golf team, and then when I played in high school, I'd always go with my dad. But I haven't been in a while. I used to go with the range. I used to go to the range like the first 2 years of college, and then recently I've just been lazy, I guess, busy. But now I guess I got some free time on my hands.
I got big golf news, like breaking golf news.
What do we got?
I even got a clip here.
During high school, I played junior hockey and still hold 2 league records. Most time spent in a penalty box, and I was the only guy to ever take off his skate and try to stab somebody.
Happy Gilmore 2 is in the works.
Oh, boy.
Adam Sandler and Shooter McGavin, they're coming back. How is so it's got to be, God, that was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So let me say again, I'm not a student anymore, so that's like 25 years ago or 30 years ago.
I wonder what is it going to be just a remake or what? The sequel?
No, it's Adam Sandler. No, it's not a remake. It's a sequel.
Oh, wow.
It is a sequel. No reason for a sequel, Joe Q says. Who will play the part of Bob Barker?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously Bob Barker can't do it. I think, Steven, is there a Bob Barker on your screen tonight, Steven? Last week you had a Bob Barker. How about Alec Trebek? He called in sick. Maybe Drew Carey can play the role that Bob Barker would have played in this one. What do you think, Steven? 28 years ago. One of the funniest movies, in my opinion, in the history of movies.
I think the people need a funny movie right now. I think that would be good. When is it expected?
What was the last funny movie? The Hangover?
Good ones, yeah. I mean, they got Oppenheimer coming out right now, and it's all depressing. Oppenheimer. God, I just saw a movie, and I forgot the name of it because I didn't see the first one. Mateo, what was the name of the movie? I forgot. He saw the movie with me. He was walking by. But anyway, I that's how I am with movies. I go to the movies, and I'm just not interested in them. So I guess this is a chance for me to get reinvested into the movies.
Why do you go to the movies then? For the popcorn?
My friends like the movies. I don't know. I'll go and I'll watch them and I'll get bored with it.
You guys smuggling beer into the movies? That's what we used to do when we were kids. We would smuggle. This is high school. We would sit in the back row, and we would smuggle bottles in, and then we pound them and then put them on the floor. And the theater slopes, so you hear the bottles rolling down during the movie. That was a fun thing to do back then.
Nah.
That and fireworks we would bring into the theater, but you can't get away with that today. That would
No, if we do that in
that's
Boca
not.
Raton, if we do that in Boca Raton, I think we'll get canceled.
Yeah, no, you can't do that anywhere. You'll cause a friggin' mass chaos. So no, you can't do that. But yeah, Happy Gilmore 2. Funny movie? I don't know. Probably not. But Beverly Hills Cop 4 is coming out in about 2 months on Netflix. And the movie that I'm really excited about coming out, Lethal Weapon 5. Just went into production. Mel Gibson, like 65 years old. Danny Glover, like 120. But they're coming back to fight crime. Those were the greatest, the Lethal Weapons.
All right, so we got some movie potential.
We do. So what? So you went up to Brooklyn. You went up to New York.
Yeah.
And because we're limited down here to the Hard Rock app, which we appreciate the opportunity to be able to get in the game and get in on the action.
Yep.
But the Hard Rock app completely and ultimately sucks compared to Bet Rivers, FanDuel, Bet365. But you downloaded FanDuel when you were up there, correct?
Yep. We put the original bet in on UConn, and then we did a little two-legger parlay that went in for us yesterday with Creighton and Clemson.
Nice. Good deal.
Yeah.
So did you put any losers? How much did you must have put a bet on the Owls?
Yeah. So that was the one. That was the one on MGM that just didn't go my way.
Oh, look at multiple books. Where is that? Hold on, I got a stream. I got a banner for you, buddy, right here. Let me get rid of that.
800 number.
Yeah, you're rolling with 2 books at once. So gambling problem. There you go. 1-800-GAMBLER, pal. You got to be 21 years or older. So hopefully you didn't entice Christian to get involved in the action because that.
No, Christian's a good kid, man. He doesn't got the fake ID or anything, so he can't bet. I think for 2 years. I think he's 19. He's either 19 or 20. So maybe 1 more year or 2 more years. I don't know, but
that's all right. There's plenty of time for him. So what was your betting? What did you end up with? Did you just have the 2 hits, UConn, and then the parlay, or what?
So the UConn was that was the $50, and then but I think it was just like even money. So I think I made like $1 or something like that on the UConn bet, and then but on the parlay it was like I forgot it was like +2 something. So I made
dogs.
Yeah. So I think I made like there was 200, so I made 462.
It wasn't Clemson like +6.5 yesterday.
Yeah,
going into the game. Yeah,
they were plus the points, but they were hot. I mean Baylor was always underwhelming. Baylor was always underwhelming too. You had that?
I had them for my weekend stats. Saturday was my best day. I forget what the hell I was Saturday. Maybe 10-1 or 9-1 in NCAA, and then I'm following Andy Slater. You know who Andy Slater is?
I see his picks hit all the time. I see that.
He hits for $10,000, $50,000, $70,000, $25,000 all the time. So I followed one of his picks on Friday and it hit hockey. Yeah. And then I hit one again on Saturday. So I'm gradually going up on the amount I bet because he's putting out these, you see it and you're like, oh my God, this pays $10,000. And then you're realizing that he's betting $2,000 on it. So I'm like, I don't really know.
His units are pretty heavy, huh?
They are. But I mean, when you hit 2 this football season for $50,000 each, like back-to-back weeks, it was nuts.
Does he post his losses?
Nobody posts their losses, bro.
Exactly.
Well, you know that he loses though, but now he's getting clever because he used to put everything out on X.
Yeah.
But now he'll post on X that you have to go to his Instagram to see it. So I guess he's trying to build his Instagram and get some Instagram action. But I ended up 33-11 for the weekend, and like I said, Yale just cost me like a monster payout because I had them in, an 8-game parlay, and the first 7 came out, and then I had them in a tease with the first 7 came out, and
I wouldn't have liked Yale. They had their good run though.
I just wanted them to hang close. That's what I needed.
The points, gotcha.
All right. So food. You talked about the pizza, the stuff you faced with Pasta Place. What else did you guys What else did you guys say? Because I know you were interviewing people in restaurants, weren't you? You were interviewing people out in the street.
Yeah, we went to Dave and Buster's beforehand. Didn't eat any food there. Played a few games. That's where the alumni party was. Where FAU alum always does a good job. Last year when I went as a fan, they did it at a bar, which was a little more, I guess. But there's only so many things open at 9 a.m. before a game, and David Buster's was there for them. But that was good. We met Brett Royster, who was a former FAU basketball player, did the interview with us there. Mike Birdman, who did a bunch of interviews with us in Fort Worth. But food wise, I mean, I don't know. We didn't eat too much. What did Christian eat? We both got chicken parm sandwiches in the stadium, which was pretty good. We had meal vouchers, so the one night we ate there, and then we left the next day. The night before, there's a burger place. The night before the game, we got in the burger place I go to when it's a late night spot in New York. It's called 7th Street Burger.
Okay.
Really solid, really good burger, smash burger. So we went there the first night, and then the day we left, we just went to the pasta place. That's my spot. I forgot the chef's name, but he has like a big restaurant out there, and this is just pasta. It's really good.
Not Chef Tom.
Maybe. I don't know.
He's missing in action tonight, so maybe he's up there.
Cooking up in a cheese wheel, cooking me up. The cheese wheel pasta is the greatest invention of all time. There's no other thing. They cook it in there, and it comes out with like the cheese. Nothing can beat it.
You need to go down to Pompano, and you need to go to Betta Mia restaurant.
I haven't been.
Yeah, it's new. We had them on the show a few days before they.
Steven's got the cheese wheel.
Steven's got the. Is that what this is, Steven? All right, let's take a look at what Steven's got here. What do you got, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Betta Mia is as close to Brooklyn as you're gonna get without being in Brooklyn. I felt like when I was in this place, it's a small place.
Yeah.
But it has the food is absolutely delicious, and it wasn't just me because I brought a bunch home. Kid loved it, wife loved it, mother-in-law loved it. Everybody loved the food. But at any minute, you feel like Joe Piscopo or Frank Sinatra is just going to come walking into the place. That's the feeling that it.
Those are the best types of places. I love the hole-in-the-wall types of spots, especially down here in Florida. We need more of them, especially in South Florida.
What you got to go to this place. I got the menu, so next time I see you can grab the menu. I want to push this place. Well, it's not far from FAU. You go hit a baseball game on Friday night. You run down to Betta Mia. After that, they got live entertainment. We're even possibly going to do a show from the restaurant.
I love that.
Yeah, the food was so effing good.
I gotta take you to Paolo's. My friend's mom owns it. That was the spot of former FAU coach Dusty May, but it's still the spot. Paolo's in Boca Raton off Palmetto at 95. Really good. They make their chicken Alfredo with the chicken cutlet in it. So that's my go-to for them. But I'll have to check this place out.
Yeah, well, next basketball season you're going to be eating at Paolo's. You know what Dusty's going to be doing?
What?
Freezing his ass off.
Yeah, probably.
So I saw on Twitter also, or Facebook, or IG, or somewhere, you guys were Ubering around the city. You know that there's a subway. You just hop on and hop right off, right?
Oh yeah. So I was all for the. I take the subway all the time, and I guess. God bless Christian's family. I guess in Christian, I think they must have gotten to the news. Christian was like, I can't. My parents were telling me that. So we were in the Uber. I didn't want to get Christian in trouble with Mrs. Proscia. So
she told him no subways.
Yeah, no subways for Christian.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I might don't tell you. I might have snuck him in there, Miss Proscia. I'm sorry. No.
Oh my God.
No. Anytime I walk by the Subway sandwich place, though, Steven, I'd point it out to him. I'm like, we could go in there. I'm sure it's safe. But no, the Subways, they're not as bad as everyone makes it out. If you don't talk to the homeless people, they're not talking to you. And don't be stupid. I think that's the biggest advice I've learned from my dad is just don't be stupid, and no one will be stupid towards you. Especially in the subway, just don't stand too close to the tracks. Like there's common things that you don't do on the subway, and you'll be fine. Don't touch the poles and then touch your mouth. That you'll get a disease.
Yeah, I don't even think you have to do all that to get the disease there, right on the subways. But it is what it is. So what's next for you? Basketball's over. You've been immersed in FAU and NCAA basketball. Are you gonna take a little vacation? You gonna take a break, or
We're gonna dive into football. Football season started because the spring game is in a few weeks, so they've been practicing. I mean, I'll take a week or so and recollect, catch up on my schoolwork a little bit because I got to graduate here in a month, which is wild to think about. We're pushing towards graduation here in a month or so, but that's what happened last year. FAU lost in the Final Four, and it was summertime soon enough. So we'll take a week or so, and then we'll dive right into football. But
I'm seeing a graduation party at Betta Mia's restaurant down there in Pompano Beach.
Let's do it. I know I got my parents, but my graduation's I think Friday, May 5th, and then my parents are taking off on like a 2-week cruise to all across Europe the day after. So I gotta get in with a party or something on that Friday.
Friday, May 3rd. I think it's May 3rd.
Oh, is it 3rd?
I think so because that's Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Okay, yeah.
And the next day is a big day. You got the Kentucky Derby.
Gotcha.
And then a Canelo fight. We could do for your graduation. We could do what Tom Brady and Gronk did for the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. They were at the Kentucky Derby in the afternoon. And then they got a private jet and flew out to Vegas, and they were at the Mayweather Pacquiao fight that night.
I'm here for it. Let's get a good private jet though. I wanted to make it to Vegas. I heard those private jets are a little sketchy.
Nah. They're you get the right one. I mean, you're not going to get on one with like a rubber band where they wind it up and then it goes like that. But it's the biggest regret of my life is after that fight, I was walking through the MGM Grand through like these back halls that not a lot of people know about. And I'm going one way and coming the other way is Gronk and his entourage. And they were wasted. And they're like, dude, come on, man. Let's go, dude. And I didn't go. Could you imagine the stories that I would have?
Oh, man. We should. That would have jump-started Bleacher Brothers right there. That was the inside source. It would have turned us into Barstool, though.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it, right? So, Robbie Lastella, you've done a fantastic job with FAU basketball the entire season. Are you going to write an exit article on the season, a reflection, or is that it's just done? When it's like The Sopranos, it just screen goes black.
Well, I wanted to try to talk to a few people. I'm talking to Damon Arnett, who was the color guy all season on radio, get his perspective on the year. I'm going to talk to Dusty, and then we'll put something out. I don't think anyone's pressing right now to read about the season that's with the way it ended. But I think in a few weeks or so, there'll be a good time to put out a little recollection piece. That's what I said in my message to Dusty was let's hop on a Zoom call and do a recollection piece, and he was more than open to doing that. So we'll get that going. But right now with basketball, I'm dialed into search season. I'm listening to anybody. If you got a source that wants to talk to me about anyone FAU's pursuing, I'm all ears. But I think FAU is really going to consider Kyle Church in-house.
I get a crazy feeling that you may become the source here very soon.
Hey man, I tried to break that. If he went to Louisville, I would have been the source. I almost ruined my credibility. If you look at my tweet though, I didn't say he was going to Louisville. I said sources were reporting that he's going to Louisville. Wasn't me.
What was the story with the death threats? I saw a tweet that you were involved in today, something about death threats out of Louisville?
Yeah. So apparently these people in Louisville were saying that Dusty May and Josh Schertz had a conversation, and Josh Schertz told this Louisville news source that Dusty told him that the reason he didn't go to Louisville was because he was getting death threats. Josh Schertz being Indiana State's coach. And I said on this Twitter space earlier today about this guy, the armchair AD, I was like, there's no way Dusty is first of all backing down from a job because of competition and a fan base. And second of all, I don't think anyone in Louisville is stupid enough to be issuing death threats to an incoming coach. And sure enough, Dusty came out today and said that never happened. So fake news. Read between the lines sometimes. People believe stuff too easily.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, buddy. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you did a fantastic job so far. I feel like we're just getting started.
We're rolling.
And you were great on Pete Shepard this morning. Robbie Lastella, read everything that Robbie puts out on BleacherBrothers.com.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he's our go-to guy. And have you seen the site today, Robbie, yet?
I saw it on my phone. I got to do it its justice and look at it on the computer. But I saw that the day structure with the shows on the phone. It looks it's mobile friendly now. It's definitely a lot more mobile friendly, which is good.
An app is coming next. Give us a few months. Let's nail the website down first. But the changes that are coming to this website, literally, when I tell you 10,000 pages are going to be added to this website in the next week, I might be exaggerating on the low side.
We got to keep the operating speed up.
Yeah, why? Is it slow right now?
Oh, no. I'm just
okay.
10,000 pages. It's going to be...
No, we got it. We got it. There was a trick. We got it. We know what we're doing here. No one is going to be able to go to any other website out there and find scores, highlights, articles, recaps, previews, standings, stats that we don't have.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, go to BleacherBrothers.com, baby. We'll have you locked down. I had you locked down for FAU basketball. I'll still have you locked down. And we're diving into football right now. It'll be fun to follow and see. FAU's got a lot going on, a lot of new pieces. Coach Tom Ehrman, a friend of the show. So it'll be fun to follow that here in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and we're pursuing FAU's hockey. We're going to get some FAU hockey players on this team from the
baseball
club team.
Too, my guy Toby. Don't forget about baseball. He's coming on soon.
Yeah, Toby's supposed to be coming up next along with Bill Perkins, but neither one of them are in the house yet, but that's all right. We'll me and Steven will roll on without them if they're not here. But, Robbie, have a good night, man. We'll talk soon. Appreciate you coming on. Everybody sit tight. We're going to take a quick commercial timeout, station ID, and we'll be back with Top Fan Rivalry and our 2024 MLB Preview.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been waiting, and now it's here. TBSN, the Tony Bruno Sports Network.
Make some noise!
The Tony Bruno Sports Network. Download the app. Tell your friends the game is on. TBSN.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's all jealous and because I'm like the lead singer of the band, dude. And I think everybody's got a freaking problem with me, dude. And they need to take it up with me after the show. Because these chicks don't even know the name of my band. But they're all on me like they wanna hold hands. Cause once I blow, they know that I'll be the man. All because I'm the lead singer of my band. So I get off stage, right? Drop the mic. Walk up to these hot chicks and I'm all like, what's up, ladies? My name's Slim Shady. I'm the lead singer of D12, baby. They're all like, oh my God, it's him. Becky, oh my freaking God, it's him. I swear to freaking God, dude, you freaking rock. Please, Marshall, please let me know by now. The rest of the fellas get jealous, especially when I drop the beat and do my acapellas. All the chicks start yelling, all the hot babes, so the bras and the shirts and the panties on stage. So like every single night they pick a fight with me. But when we fight, it's kind of like sibling rivalry. Cause they're back on stage the next night with me. Dude, I just think they're trying to steal the light from me. Yesterday, Canava tried to pull a on me. Cause I told him Jessica Albert's my wife to be.
I got to straighten this screen out here. Give me a second. Toby, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. And look at Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Good.
I'm good.
Bill,
I'm just here at the Oakland Coliseum.
The beautiful Oakland Coliseum. And how
with
many?
All 1,700 other fans.
I was going to say, can you count on one hand how many people are there?
It takes two hands and a toe, but we're good.
What, Steven? Sell the team.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of that stuff going around here. Yeah.
So Bill, what the hell are you doing at the Oakland Coliseum?
What's that?
I said, what are you doing at the Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, Amber wanted to come down here. She thought it would be fun, and it's the last year with the Battle of the Bay, right? Obviously, if Oakland's in Salt Lake or Vegas next season, then they don't have the Battle of the Bay next season. So Amber wanted to come down and check it out.
Gotcha. Hey, Bill, this may work out better if you want to call in, because your feed's not good, buddy, and you're going to be all broken up and like you're frozen now. Let's do this. Bill, I'm going to text you the phone number. If you want to call in, that's going to work much better than this. All right, buddy? So let's go like this. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. And Toby, while we're getting Bill on the line, you dropped your FAU baseball recap.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give us a quick rundown of what happened this weekend?
Yeah, sure. So we had our first series with the AAC conference play against Charlotte. Not an unfamiliar opponent for us. We face Charlotte pretty much every single year. And we got away with 2 pretty close wins, all within 1 run in a doubleheader on Saturday. The rain kind of pushed game 1 on Friday to Saturday, and then they got blown out on Sunday, which, it is what it is. It's baseball. It happens. You can't win every game, and they look good. Besides that one game, both starting pitchers in games 1 and 2 of the doubleheaders look good. Offense didn't really do anything too flashy compared to, them getting what seemed like a grand slam or 2 every single series in the last couple of weeks. They held their own, though, and they picked up a couple wins, and now they look ahead to FGCU this week and another series in the AAC against Memphis this weekend.
Yeah, somebody said I jinxed them yesterday because I put a tweet out. I took a picture of the scoreboard in the 5th inning. There was 1 hit in the game. I said pitching duel, and then boom, they got their doors blown off after that.
Maybe, but I think they were due for kind of a little bit of a beatdown. They've been beaten down on teams too much for it, so it happens. But.
They have. They got what they give yesterday. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, so we got Bill Perkins on the phone, right? Can you hear us, Bill?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Your feed, the internet there was too whacked. So,
well, let's be honest. It's Oakland, right?
Yeah.
So, do we expect it to get better? Is that what we're looking for?
So, Bill, there was no, they're not expecting to get better. That's why they're trying to get the heck out of Dodge. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there were a couple of news pieces today I want to hit real quick, and then we're going to get into our preview and prediction show.
You got it.
Not good news, Toby, anywhere around. The Yankees, bro. LeMahieu, he's going to start the season on the IL with an injured foot. We already know Judge has got some issues. Cole. Yep. Mm-hmm. I would also like to point out that Trevor Bauer pitched 4 shutout innings against the Yankees yesterday, giving up a couple of hits and striking out a bunch of guys.
Shaved his face before, too.
I'm going to put that on record. Did he really?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if I'm sure there was some intention there with him, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he shaved before.
Any signs in the Coliseum tonight that say sign Bauer, Bill?
Yeah, they say boycott Bauer.
Boycott Bauer, okay. Toronto's
I don't know what that's all about, but
that's already going on. Toronto's closer Jordan Romano is out with an elbow injury, and Steven Luker notified me that the Phillies shut down Walker for a while with I'm not sure what, but what does he got, an elbow issue? Do you know that, Bill?
No, I don't. I don't know the exact issue. I saw it this morning that they were talking about shutting him down, but they didn't say like the extent. Listen, you get more directness out of Congress than you do out of these team players or these teams, right?
Yeah, you do. It's a guessing game. Or you could just be like Shohei and say, I no understand English. Kind of like you reminded me a lot of Sammy Sosa today in front of Congress. My English is not that good, but
yeah, exactly. I'm getting dressed up here. Amber's taking a picture of me because I bought an Oakland jersey and put Top Fan Rivalry on it, and apparently it's important that she puts it on me.
Isn't that some sort of copyright infringement, though?
Well, not when I'm wearing it. That ups the game about 10%, 12%.
And Steven, this looks like a long clip. Can you just get it to the point where I want it, buddy? I know it's at Sammy Sosa, but I mean, is it gonna? We have to watch him walk in and sit down and all that. I just wanted the part where he doesn't speak any English. All right, don't worry about it. We'll skip over that.
What's that? No habla.
Exactly. So, Bill, are you ready? I know that you're on a sabbatical there in beautiful Oakland, but
Yeah.
we want to go around the league.
But yeah.
We want to go around the leagues, and we brought one of our favorite baseball guys and one of your favorite baseball guys, Toby, in with us tonight also, because who knows?
Sign me up.
Who knows baseball? But now, Toby, are you an actual ambassador for Top Fan Rivalry?
Like, what do you mean by that?
See, Steven Luker's an ambassador, man.
No, I don't. Yeah, no, I've seen that, but I don't think I'm there yet.
Oh, you got.
No, we're gonna work on having him write some more, and possibly don't steal my thunder here, AJ. Come on now.
Oh man, Toby, are you?
Toby sends me. Toby, who's the girl you sent the picture with?
Oh, that's my sister.
That's your sister? Like, Toby sends a picture with him and his sister, and I'm like, both in Yankees gear, and I'm wondering if he's just sitting there and hands her the hat and says, here, wear this. Right? They're both smiling, but, you never know. Toby might have paid her off and said, here, wear this for a second.
No, she's big Yankee fan as well. Whole family, we're all Yankee fans, so we all had to rep.
And because he's a Top Fan Rivalry ambassador, Steven Luker's got baseball picks tonight too. So why don't we kind of get to this? And let's start in the National League. Yep. And let's start in the East because that's the most important division out of all of them. And I'll kind of set the tone because we are on a limited time schedule here, and Bill's in that rowdy loud stadium there. Bill, will you start a wave at any point during the show? Because we'll bring you back on video if you start a wave.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What I will do though is I'll sit here. They've got a new place where they got a hot dog and Polish sausage and all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
All right. I'm trying to get the screen straight here, but I can't. All right, so
let's get to these predictions. I want to hear what Luke has to say. I want to hear what Toby has to say. Is Play Action on with us tonight?
Nah, Play Action could not make it. He tried his hardest, but circumstances prevented him from getting to Kansas. I mean, from getting here tonight. So
he got sent to the penalty box for too much aggression. He's sitting out for one game.
Yes, he's in the penalty box. So all right, so
is he the healthy scratch?
Bill, I'll actually give it to you first. The National League East. Who do you have and why?
Real quickly, I have the Braves repeating, but I have the Phillies coming right at their toes. Don't sleep on the Mets. The Mets are going to make it difficult in that division for everybody.
All right, so you got the Braves. Now, did the Braves win more games than the Dodgers this year?
No.
Are they within 5 games of the Dodgers?
Absolutely. I got both of them winning close to 100, if not 100. They'll be separated by maybe 2 games, maybe 3.
What would you say if I told you Shohei bet on the Braves over the Dodgers?
I would tell you that his translator did it.
Mm-hmm. Oakland's a very violent place, so if you start to see any beatdowns or anything going on there, immediately come back on the video, okay? We don't care how bad the feed is, because that'll be good for TikTok.
Okay, no problem.
All right. In the East,
I'll do that right now.
All right. In the East, I like Atlanta also. Atlanta's, I think, the monster in the National League. I think they might be destined to be like those earlier Atlanta teams from the late 90s and early 2000s where they always a bridesmaid, never a bride except for once. And since they already got that once out of the way, they're going to be there for a long time. But anyway, I'm taking them in the East. They're going to win the East, and they're going to win it easily. They'll clinch the East in the beginning of September, like early September, first week of September. Toby, National League East, what are you thinking?
I agree with you. Braves clinch early September. I think they win over 100 games this year. And Bill, I'm going to have to kind of counter you with the whole Phillies take. I think the Braves win this division by double digits, and I think the Phillies honestly don't even get 90 wins this year.
Double digits?
I think the Braves finish 10 games.
Double digits?
I think the Braves finish at least 10 games over the Phillies.
I'm in agreement with that.
I just think this Braves team is too good. I mean, I think it's the best roster by far in the entire league. So, I mean, I agree that the Mets are going to give some teams trouble, but I think the Marlins are going to be pretty good too. I think this is a pretty stacked division this year.
The Phillies did absolutely nothing to get better. That's the problem with the Phillies. They did nothing to get better this year. They re-signed a couple of aging pitchers that have a lot of miles on them. That's it. They did not address the gaping hole that they have. They cost them a trip to the World Series last year. I don't see the Phillies coming anywhere close to the Braves. And especially if they don't start playing until June, which is their MO for the last few years, the Phillies are toast. The Atlanta, Pete's not chirping anymore. The Atlanta Hawks have come almost all the way back, and they now trail Atlanta by 6 going into the fourth quarter. Steven, what do you got in the National League East, buddy?
I'm going to say Braves as well. I'm going to agree with you guys with Braves being the top team. And then I'm going to say Mets, Marlins, Phillies, and then Nationals. Because we don't know what Schwarber's going to do. Is Schwarber going to hit below the Mendoza line like he did last season?
Doesn't matter. He's still going to hit 45 home runs.
Yeah, he's going to hit a lot of home runs, but he's going to hit below Mendoza line.
Schwarber's not the problem. Lack of a bullpen is the problem. But all right, so we're all in agreements on Atlanta. Let's slide. Let's slide to the left and go to the Central. Steven, you want to start in the National League Central?
Yeah. I'm feeling, honestly, it's going to be a tough one, but I feel the Cubs are going to win it because they got Craig Counsell as their manager who was with Milwaukee last season. So I'm thinking Cubs, Brewers, and then St. Louis, and then the Reds, and then the Pirates last.
Steven put a lot of work in. I didn't go through the whole division. I don't have, but you're way wrong on the Pirates, buddy. The Pirates are going to be players in this thing. Toby, what do you got?
I got the Reds winning it. I don't know if that's a very hot take, but I love the Reds this year. I think their rotation is going to surprise a lot of people. I think their whole lineup has a ton of upside. I think guys like Spencer Steer, Matt McClain, obviously Ellie De La Cruz are going to have big years. And they upgraded the first base position. They got Heimer Candelario and got rid of Joey Votto. So I think they're going to be a lot better than last year. And they're all young and they want to play. So give me the Reds.
Hey, Bill, this guy knows his baseball. You realize that, don't you?
I do. He knows a little bit. I like it.
What do you know about the National League Central, Bill?
It's a 3-dog race between the Cubs, the Reds, and the Pirates. The Reds win the division. The Pirates will be right behind them. The Cubs and the Pirates will be right there, but the Reds are a solid pick. Even Luker, I cannot believe what you said about the Pirates. The Pirates got younger and better. It's going to be a great division to watch.
They do. And they got Kutch, one of my favorite players. Uncle Larry. Love him. I'm going to be the oddball out here, bro.
See, though, too, that
what?
The Pirates are in negotiations with Trevor Bauer right now.
I would love that, bro.
I'm teasing.
I will immediately get rid of my Yankee hat, which I forgot to put on before the segment started here. All right. I went out and got my Yankee hat. You can't see me, Bill, but I'm wearing it. I'm going with Milwaukee. Milwaukee's there every year. Now they're bringing in Reese, who's a positive influence in that locker room. I expect Reese to have a big bounce-back season, and I'm taking Milwaukee. All right.
Okay, you got to think about that for a second. I mean,
did.
Sure, they got Reese, but what did they do? They got rid of Corbin, right? And then got older by hiring Gary Sanchez. So
Gary Sanchez is a goof. They don't really have any plans for him.
I'm telling you right now. In fact, I'll say it to you this way, AJ. If Milwaukee wins the division, we'll find a good place to eat during FanFest. I'll bring the corporate card.
Okay. Can we go to the buffet in the Luxor?
Yeah, maybe we'll go to Excalibur instead.
Oh, that sounds scrumptious just as much. National League West. Steven?
I'm going to say Dodgers 1, and then Diamondbacks 2, Padres 3. I'm going to say Giants 3, Padres 4, Rockies 5.
Okay. Toby, what do you got there?
Dodgers 1. I think Diamondbacks come in second, and Padres 3rd, Giants 4th, Rockies 5th.
Bill, Giants for you?
Yeah, absolutely not. Dodgers and then Padres are number 2. Diamondbacks and Giants will fight out for number 3. But the Padres rotation got better with the addition of Dylan Cease. Now they've got a 1-2-3 punch.
Yeah, we're unanimous on this one. The Dodgers should win 140 games on paper, but the game is not played on paper. Wow. 96-94 now. Atlanta has come, I guess you can say, all the way back. Yeah, the Dodgers. It's not going to be a close division. Give us your 3 wild cards, Toby. Your 3 wild cards out of the National League. Who you got? And why?
Mine would be the Cubs, the D-backs, and the Phillies.
Okay.
I feel like the Cubs are probably going to lose the Central by a game or 2. I think that's just going to be a close race between 3 teams the entire time. The Diamondbacks, I don't feel like you can count them out at all. Their team's very young. They still are very scrappy, and they can put together a lot of wins, especially late in the season. And the Phillies, I just don't think they're going to have the record to catch up anywhere near the Braves, and they'll probably make some noise in the postseason like they usually do just because of their lineup. But, yeah, those are my 3.
Bill, what do you got for your 3 wild cards?
I got the Heightened Phils as one of them, the Pittsburgh Pirates as another one, and I've got the San Diego Padres.
All right. Steven?
I'm going to say Reds, the Pirates, and then the...
Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. You just picked the Pirates to come in last place. Didn't he say the Pirates are going to come in last place? That is one stacked friggin' division. If the Pilots finish last, then they're going to make the wild. Before you know it, he's got them winning the World Series. All right, Reds, Pirates, and what else you got?
And then the Diamondbacks is the 3rd spot for my wild cards. So I think the Diamondbacks could repeat with that young team they had last season and they got what they got, pretty much some good pieces over the offseason. And then the Pirates, like we know, they're getting younger and younger with piling up the young guns and having Kutch help lead that team. And then for the Reds, even though they're stacked, they got new like we mentioned, they got a new first baseman and everything. Like they're getting younger as well.
Steven, has anyone ever told you that you're easily influenced?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
What the hell is that hat you have on?
It's a bucket hat. It's a spring training hat.
What's that, Bill?
Take it easy on my guy, Steven Luker there. Take it easy on him.
All right. Here's the way it's going to go down in the National League. San Diego is going to be the first wild card team, and San Diego is going to win a lot of games this year. San Diego is going to win in the 90s. They're bouncing back. They got a chip on their shoulder. They're pissed off about last year. Machado, Tatis, San Diego 1, Pittsburgh 2, and then I'm going to shock you guys on this one. I'm going to take the Cubs 3. Phillies out of the playoffs. Phillies are a 500 team at best. They may finish behind the Mets. Again, they did nothing.
Really?
Yes, they did nothing to address their needs. They're older, and Bryce Harper has a bad back.
So, sure, they did nothing to address their needs, but they were 1 game away from the World Series last season.
And they're older, and Bryce Harper has a bad back. And so they would have to duplicate. Now, I do think Trey Turner is going to have a humongous year, but Bohm is going to go backwards. Castellanos is going to go backwards. Schwarber is going to go backwards. Harper is going to miss a great chunk of the season. You alluded to JT Realmuto being on the downswing last week when you were on.
Yep.
Wheeler, he's going to be all right. Nola's going to go backwards. You go past, they're banking on Aaron Nola of a few years ago, and they want Zach Wheeler to continue to be Cy Young, which he's never been, but you get the point. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets finish in front of them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a fair enough statement. I just, I know that they're older, but they know how to win in that division, so it's going to be unique, right?
Well, they don't know how to win the division. They don't win the division. They sneak in a wild card.
That division.
Oh, okay.
And then what do they do from there? One game away from the World Series. One game away from the World. You have literally put down your Philly stuff and put on your Bronx Bomber stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm wearing the hat right now. But look, their division, the Nationals always play them tough. Okay? They can't beat Miami in Miami. And Miami's going to suck, but the Phillies can't beat Miami in Miami. And the Mets are going to surprise people because nobody's counting on them right now. And that's what teams do when you count them out. And if you think for 1 minute that, what's that clown's name who owns the Mets? Not Frank Cashman. But if you think that he's just really...
Alonso?
Yeah, Pete Alonso, exactly. If Pete Alonso was going to play like Aaron Judge did when Judge was on his contract year, you watch. The Mets are not going to make the playoffs, but they're going to surprise a whole ton of people. All right, let's flip over to the American League and let's go backwards. Let's go from west to east. Bill, I'll give it to you first, buddy. National League West. What do you like and why?
I think the West Louisiana Astros are going to win it this year because as Big Dave calls them, the South Oklahoma Rangers just don't have it this year. They just don't have it this year. I think the Astros are going to win the division. The Rangers will come in second in that division, but they just don't have enough of it. Seattle's going to taper off. The Angels and A's, enjoy the season, see the fresh cut grass and everything like that, but better luck next season.
All right, Bill, with you. Yeah, you're only saying Houston because all the Houston groupies and followers that you have associated with Top Fan. I understand. You have to cave to political demand. Toby, what do you got in the National League West?
I agree with Bill. I think the Astros take this one. I don't feel like the pitchers that performed pretty badly last year for the Astros are going to have worse years. I think Hunter Brown's going to be a lot better. I think Christian Javier will get it together. I think the Rangers come in second as well. I think that'll be pretty close, even though that rotation is pretty questionable. I think the lineup and the offense is good enough to win a lot of games, especially against teams like the Angels and the A's. I wouldn't sleep on the Mariners either. That rotation is really, really, really good. George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, that's going to win you a lot of games. And then, the Angels and the A's are kind of afterthoughts at this point. But those top three teams, that's going to be a real fun division to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I got Texas running it back, though. I think the Astros are going to go backwards this year. They have to. They have to go backwards at some point. And this is their year to go backwards without stretching it out. Steven, what do you got here?
I'm going to say Rangers first, Houston second, and then I'm going to say Angels third, and then Seattle fourth, and Oakland last. For the Angels, why I put them in third is because they have that leadership of Ron Washington, who has postseason experience with Texas. So he's shown that leadership quality to bring in, and hopefully Trout will get to perform better.
And Rendon will play twice a week.
Who knows how long he's going to play? I think
I was just going to say
trade him.
They have a third baseman that's made of glass, and that wants to knock the season down to like 47 games.
Yeah, you're right. He's made of glass, and he doesn't want to play. That's not a good combination. Atlanta has taken the lead 105-101. Where's Pete now in the chat? I don't see him here. Central. All right, I'm going to start in the Central. The Detroit Tigers are going to win that division. Detroit should have been a much better team than they were last year, but they're going to use that to move forward. I love Detroit to win the division, and I don't think it's actually very close at all. Bill?
Okay, so here's the thing. I think the Detroit Tigers are going to kick the crap out of everybody in that division. I really do. When you put Colt Keith with Spencer Torkelson and forget about Javi Baez for a second, but you got Parker Meadows in there. Like, you've got a number of guys in there that can, like, light it up. And so I got the Detroit Tigers winning that. But the Minnesota Twins also have a decent shot at making that happen too. So, you know, we'll see. But I got the Detroit Tigers.
Toby?
I really like the Tigers as well, but I actually have them coming in third. I've got the Twins taking the division again. I feel like just they always seem to be at the top of the division, and I don't really see them taking a step back from that. They did lose Sonny Gray, but I still think their rotation's solid. I still think their bullpen's solid. I think the Royals actually finish in 2. I really like a lot of what the Royals did in the offseason. They brought in some good pitchers. They got a good couple pieces in their lineup. They've got a good young team. They extended Bobby Witt Jr. Brady Singer, Cole Reagan should have a big year as well. I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people like the Tigers will, and I think the two can be pretty interchangeable in the standings this year.
The only good thing about Kansas City is the apple caramel pizza. That's it. Steven, what do you got in the Central?
I'm going to say Twins 1, Kansas City 2, and it's going to be like for second through fourth is going to be a close battle with Kansas City and Cleveland, and then the White Sox dead last. That's what I have.
Okay. Steven, I'm going to let you start in the American League East.
That's going to be a tough one. I feel Tampa, if they get off to that hot start they did last season, starting 18-0, start that and then try to win the division. But I'm feeling Orioles first, Tampa Bay second, Yankees third, Toronto fourth, and Boston in fifth.
All right. So you said who in first? Baltimore?
Yes.
All right. That is a good plan to win the first 18 games and get off to a good start. More teams should have that plan. Toby, what do you like in the East?
I like the Orioles to win the division again. I think that they're just too young and they have so much depth, especially with the injuries that they've had already. They still have shown that their depth is not going to be an issue. They've got a ton of guys in the minors that can come up. Why they didn't put Jackson Holliday on the opening day roster, I have no idea. But I've got the Yankees coming in at 2. I think that Garrett Cole injury is really going to keep him out of first place, and those 2 months are really going to catch up to them. I think the Rays will probably come in third. I don't really think they're that good at all this year, but the Rays always have an ability to have someone just have a massive breakout year, and you could expect that out of a guy like Junior Caminero, or Isaac Paredes should have another year where he hits 30 to 40 home runs. And then you got Toronto probably coming in 4th, and then Boston coming in 5th with probably around 75 wins.
Bill, I know that you're going to be with me on this. Tell me who you got winning the East.
Why don't you pick real quick, and then I'll tell you in a second, because they got the national anthem going on right now.
All right. I like Toronto. I think Toronto's a little bit overdue. They were kind of dysfunctional last year in a way. I just think Toronto is going to put it all together, and I think Toronto is going to be a monster in the East. I think Baltimore is going to, I use a horse racing term, and bounce. I think that they came out of nowhere and they played way over their head and even exceeded their own expectations and their own talent level last year. I don't think Baltimore is going to be anywhere to be found. So I think Toronto's game plan is to actually win 20 games in a row to start out the season, to go 20-0, and then win 19 out of every other 20, which seems like a good game plan to me because, Steven likes that for Tampa. I like it for Toronto. So, and then, Bill, you all right there?
Yeah, I'm here. So they just finished. Okay. All 4,100 fans are cheering now. Okay, so I have to disagree with you on this one. I think Baltimore's going to win it. I think the Yankees will come close, but I don't think that they're going to win it. So I think Baltimore wins this one. Yankees are in second, Boston's in third, Toronto's in fourth, and yeah, I mean, these are the rest of the division. But Boston has no expectation whatsoever. And I think they're going to do a lot better than everybody thinks they're going to do.
Bill, what do you got in a wild card? Give me 3 wild card teams out of the American League.
Texas Rangers. Actually, Texas Rangers will be the number 2 wild card. The Yankees will be the number 1 wild card. Nobody comes out of the Central in the wild card. And your 3rd wild card, believe it or not, I'm really struggling with this one. I want to say Seattle, but I think Boston might actually do it.
Boston? Is that what you said? Did he say Boston?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boston.
Nobody has expectations on them.
Okay. And me included. Toby, what do you got?
I got Yankees taking the first wild card spot. I agree with Bill. I don't think anyone's coming out of the Central with a wild card, and I think the other 2 go to the Rangers and the Mariners. I think the Mariners are definitely due, and hopefully they can make some noise in the postseason.
We are nowhere close. You guys are nowhere close to what I got coming in a wild card. Steven, what do you got in a wild card in the American League?
I'm going to say Yankees 1.
This guy, you're nowhere close.
Rangers are going to... Who did I pick for the West to win? I always get... Who's my West winner?
Rangers.
You picked Houston. No, he picked Houston, didn't he? Did you pick the Rangers?
I think I picked Rangers to win the division.
You picked the Pirates to win every division. But go ahead.
Yankees 1, Houston 2, and I'm going to go wild guess and throw Cleveland, like the Minnesota Twins go back in as number 3. No, wait, I had the Twins winning the division. Hold on. Cleveland 3. I'm going to have Cleveland as my 3rd wild card.
Put a lot of prep into this, huh, buddy? All right, here's what you get.
And the Guardians?
Cleveland, the Indians or the Guardians? Yes, he's picking the Guardians.
Steven, they're going to be lucky if they win 55 games this season.
Well, we'll see. Anything can happen.
Well, you'll be taking Steven to a fancy restaurant in Vegas if they do win more than that, won't you?
Only if he comes 2-8 and rub my leg.
All right, so here's what you got wild card wise. Tampa Bay, because you can trade all the players away. You can not show up for the games. You can knock their spring training complex down in a hurricane. None of it matters to the Tampa Bay Rays. They win every single year they're there. Tampa Bay is a wild card. Houston gets into the 2nd wild card. And the 3rd wild card, Seattle Mariners. The Yankees do not make the playoffs. The Yankees are going to have a brutally horrible season. You already got LeMahieu hurt. It's a matter of time for Rizzo. Judge will miss 60 to 70 games with some sort of ab, back, toe injury. Garrett Cole, yeah, okay. He's going to start throwing in a month, maybe. And there's nothing proven of substance after him. So I got the Phillies and the Yankees both missing the playoffs altogether. Instead of going through, all right, who's going to win the wild card and who's going to win the division series, let's just jump right to your World Series picks. Your two teams that are in the World Series, who wins and why? Toby, let's go to you first.
I think the Orioles go to the World Series this year. I think that just the team's so young and they already have that winning the division experience, and now they can go in and they can make some more noise in the postseason. And I think the Braves take the pennant in the National League, and I think they take the World Series also. I just think that team is way too stacked from top to bottom to lose this year. And I don't think the Dodgers, I think they'll have another crumble in the postseason. It's just it feels like it's inevitable at this point with them.
It's in their DNA, bro. Steven, have you figured out a World Series winner yet? Who's playing in the World Series, buddy?
Well, I'm going to go Orioles and Diamondbacks. I think Diamondbacks are going to win the NL. It's going to be a battle between the Braves and Diamondbacks. And I want to kind of see the Orioles win the World Series. Since they're young, I want to see a young team win. and something new in baseball and another streak of a team winning.
You're just you're just saying that because you're sad about their owner dying.
No, I'm just picking whatever I feel with my gut.
All right, Bill. What do you got?
All right, so initially, before the DJ LeMahieu thing on our podcast that we did, okay, so I would have said the Classic World Series, the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Bronx Bombers. I'm not going to do that now because you got too many injuries. I'm going to say the Dodgers go to the World Series this year against Baltimore, and I think the Dodgers have a shot to take it as long as they're healthy. So I think Dodgers take it over Baltimore. But it'll take them 7 to do it.
Okay. I got Atlanta going to the World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays, and I got the Blue Jays winning the World Series. The Blue Jays are going to be a monster team this year. That's my pick. Real quick, for American League MVP, Toby.
Soto.
All right.
Right away, Juan Soto.
I agree with you on Juan Soto. All right. Bill, who you got? Who you got in the AL? MVP.
Gunnar Henderson.
Gunnar Henderson.
I got Gunnar.
All right. And Steven, how about you?
Soto.
Soto. All right. So 3 Sotos and 1 Gunnar Henderson. National League MVP. I got Trey Turner. Bill?
I got Mookie Betts.
Betts for Bill. Toby, who you got?
I like both of those picks, but I really think Matt Olson's due for one. I think it's Matt Olson time.
You might be right, buddy.
If he hits 50 homers again, we'll see.
Steven?
I'm going to agree with Toby Olson.
Wow. Okay. I thought you were going to say Marisol Nichols. National League Cy Young Award winner. Toby.
I think Strider takes it this year. I think he's going to be dominant.
Bill?
Stash takes it. Yeah, Spencer Strider.
Both of you guys. Wow. All right. Steven?
Strider.
Steven, name one other National League pitcher.
Yamamoto's one, but...
All right, there you go. All right, okay, just checking. I got Blake Snell.
Another.
I got Blake Snell.
Really?
I swear to God I do. Hey, he's pitching in a good pitcher's ballpark, buddy.
And he's got to pitch more than 4 1/3 innings a game.
Yeah, he can get through 5 or 5 1/3, no problem. American League Cy Young Award, Toby.
I think Corbin Burns takes it this year, especially with Cole being out. I mean, I think that gives him a massive advantage. But I like Corbin Burns.
Steven?
Corbin Burns as well.
I should have made Steven go first. Bill?
This one's hard. I would have said Garrett Cole until the injury. I want to say Corbin Burns, but he's pitching with a new team. So I am going to go completely out of the box here. I'm going to go completely out of the box. I'm going to shock every single one of you. You ready?
Yeah.
Pablo Lopez takes it.
Pablo Lopez.
I've heard that before. I've heard that one before. I like that, though. I like that.
Ex-Florida Marlin, Pablo Lopez. The Marlins can breed pitchers. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go really out of the box, and you guys are going to goof on me and laugh. But Trevor Bauer is going to win the American League Cy Young Award. The American League Cy Young Award, because Garrett Cole is not coming back in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, and then Nestor's going to go down. Cortez, they're going to have no choice but to go get Bauer, and Bauer is going to pitch lights out. And the Yankees are going to have 2 positive things this season. Bauer and Soto. That's it. Other than that, these are going to look like a Yankees team from you name the year between 1982 and 1993. That's what this Yankee team is going to look like. I'm gonna turn all of this into an article and post it up so it'll be there forever, and then we can come back to this in November. The most outlandish pick. I'll let you guys wait until I put it all up in an article and you can review it and say, look, there's no way that this is going to happen. And I think that we should pull together some sort of prize for whoever gets the most picks right, whoever gets the craziest pick right. And Steven should not get any picks for the Cy Youngs or the MVPs because he only knows a few players after he hears their names. But so Bill.
Again, you're messing with Steven. But I will say, if the Padres come in last, or I mean, if the Pirates come in last place and get the wild card, then that's something impressive.
That is, Steven. Each one of us should give Steven 10 grand if that happens. Deal?
I don't know about 10 grand, but
Bill, it's mathematically impossible for it to happen, Bill. So yeah, let's like $1 million. How about 10 million?
Okay, 10 grand.
10 million each.
We'll give him $1 grand. Steven, you're gonna make $1 grand on that. It's mathematically impossible, but it works out.
Yeah, somehow. So, so Bill, what is this? The final spring training game before they? Why the Coliseum for a spring training game?
So you have all these crosstown things, like the Angels-Dodgers played the Freeway Series. This is the Battle of the Bay for these two guys. And so tonight it's here in the Coliseum. The next 2 nights it'll be at Oracle. Like I said, Amber wanted to come up here and check it out before it wasn't anymore. I got to tell you, they've got a big crowd tonight. I'm confident that if they've got 5,000 people here, I would be impressed. I'd be impressed. You can hear the guy yelling "cold beer." Yeah. There were probably more fans if they would have had the game in Arizona, I would imagine. So I just walked by a guy wearing a Crash Davis jersey from Bull Durham, and I just saw they have the old school drinking fountain still here and working. Wow. So what's that tell you? Lead poisoning here, by the way. Lead poisoning. You need a payphone. They got one here. Nice. Is that where you're calling from? A payphone right now? No. I actually paid my cell phone bill this morning just to make sure we could do this. You could have called. You could have called collect if you needed to. I mean, TBSN will pick up the bill, I'm sure. So. Collect call from Bill. Yeah, exactly. Okay, got it. So I gotta ask though, fellas. Have you guys done your movie bracket yet? No, Bill. Isn't it too late to get a bracket in, or no? Have you done your movie bracket? No, it's we're shutting it down tomorrow night at midnight. Okay. Movie brackets. March Madness movie bracket. TopFanRivalry.com. All right, TopFanRivalry.com. Go there, fill out. And these are just baseball movies, or these are movies? Yeah. 32 baseball movies are up. You click onto the little thing that says March Madness, then you hit play ball, and, there's movies in there like Bull Durham, 42, The Ghost of Flatbush, 61, The Babe, Rookie of the Year. I mean, they got it all out there. All right, and what does somebody win if the person who gets the most right or wins this thing? What do they get? Yeah, the person who gets the most right gets a Top Fan Rivalry T-shirt and $25 of credit inside our team store. Cool. Second place is $15 team store. Third place is $10 in the team store. It's free to enter. And I haven't seen Toby's bracket in there yet. I don't know why I haven't seen Toby's bracket in there. I got to get mine in. And no hats. You're not giving any hats away, I see. Okay. All right, Bill. I keep forgetting to mail yours up. I know, buddy. I know. Check is in the mail. All right, Bill, we're going to let you go watch the game because we're up against it. It's the end of the show anyway, so I got to get Steven in with his update. We appreciate you coming on, even from beautiful downtown, lovely Oakland. Yeah. All right, and hey, AJ, I'll reach out to you tomorrow. All right, sounds good. Appreciate you. Let's do it again next week. Sounds good, buddy. Bill Perkins, Top Fan Rivalry, TopFanRivalry.com, Top Fan Rivalry on Instagram and Twitter and X and everywhere else. Toby, thank you for jumping in with us tonight.
Real quick, like 30 seconds. What's FAU baseball got coming up this week? Do you know?
I believe I know they play FGCU tomorrow. I think that got rescheduled to a doubleheader now.
Okay.
So there'll be, I think, I'm looking right now.
They're going to Memphis.
Yeah, they're going to Memphis on Friday. So I think there is a doubleheader tomorrow. So 2 p.m. and then game 2 is after that.
All right, cool.
So I'll be at game 2, but unfortunately won't be at game 1.
Okay. Toby Schulman does all of our FAU baseball coverage and lots of other baseball coverage, too. He's put out great stuff on prospects to watch this year. Toby, thanks for jumping on with us. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
And we'll talk to you soon. No, thank you. And, Steven, it is time for your final update of the evening. And just know, Steven, that we are
against the clock.
We're against the clock. So let me give you some.
Go fast.
Let me give you some against the clock music right here.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right, we got a final in Cleveland. The Cavaliers beat the Hornets 115-92. The Hawks are up 120-116 against the Boston Celtics. 9 seconds left in that game. The Knicks are up 116-89 against the Detroit Pistons. 3:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. Final in Toronto, the Brooklyn Nets beat the Raptors 96-88. Tie game in Chicago, 82 apiece. Wizards and Bulls, fourth quarter, 10:40 to go. At the end of the third quarter, San Antonio Spurs are up by 1 against the Phoenix Suns. In the third quarter, a minute 4 left to go. The Houston Rockets are up 77-68 against the Portland Trailblazers. In the second quarter, the Utah Jazz are up 52-47 against the Dallas Mavericks. And the Nuggets are up 49-29 against the Memphis Grizzlies. Second quarter, 9:41 left to go. And in some hockey action at the end of the second period, the Vegas Golden Knights are up 1-0 against the St. Louis Blues. It's a tie game in Vancouver at the end of the first. The Vancouver Canucks are playing the Kings. It's a 1-1 game. And are on this day in history in 1997, we're going to talk about there's a trade reflecting current baseball economics. The Atlanta Braves send right fielder David Justice and center field Marquise Grissom to Cleveland to the Indians for right field. The center fielder Kenny Lofton, a reliever named Elliot Emby. Atlanta and Cleveland faced each other in the World Series in 1995. The swap of these two Golden Glove center fielders and a 3-time All-Star Justice reduces the Braves' payroll by $6.8 million. Both players had several years left on their contracts, with Lofton consistently the best leadoff hitter in Major League Baseball is in the last year of his. And that is your sports update.
All right, quick commercial, and then we'll be back to wrap it up.
Got it.
You're listening to the
That's it, buddy. We made it through with just you and me. What did we miss? Did we forget anything tonight? So I'll put all of this mess. You know what we forgot? I wanted to call Luch on the air and find out how he made out with his colonoscopy today. We had to find out if on the whole everything was okay. Tomorrow night, Coach Gene Clemens is joining us. If you missed last week's show, you don't want to miss tomorrow night's show. He's absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite guests of all time. Wednesday night, 9-time amateur Muay Thai champion Chase Brooks joins us. He's fighting again in a few on Cinco de Mayo, Kentucky Derby weekend. He's fighting. Luch on Ice will be back on Thursday. Luch got another funeral to go to tomorrow. People are just dying to get away from this guy. I don't know what it is. Jeff should be back with us tomorrow night. Until then, tune in tomorrow morning. Pete Shepard, 7 a.m. on TBSN. And then you get LFG on tomorrow afternoon and the Tony Bruno Show on after that. Until then, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you check out BleacherBrothers.com for all your content, scores, updates, breaking news, articles, and much, much more to come. Great job, Steven. Bill, thank you. Toby, Lastella Report. And until tomorrow, same place, same time, same bat channel. We are out of here.
Got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Girl, you really got me now. Got me so